Good evening, everybody, and welcome. It's that time of the week again. It's the four horsemen of the Toon with me, Peter, Barry, and John Sinclair, ladies and gentlemen, is in the house. Thank you very much for joining us again on this Monday night. I'm sweating like an absolute moose. I've had a COVID vaccine today, and I'm just pouring with sweat, so I do apologise if it's dripping off my face during the show, but I'll try and get by as best I can. First of all, though, I want to start with you, Mr. Proudlock. Congratulations on 1,000 subscribers. Absolutely fantastic, buddy. Well done.
Thank you very much indeed.
Absolutely brilliant. Proud as punchy fella. No one deserves it more than you. So well done for that.
Thank you so much.
Next, we have to work on those two muggins on the bottom now. Get them, get their subscribers up a bit. We've had loads of comments come in already. There's plenty watching already, so thank you very much for that. And just to let you know, guys, I've managed to sort out my Google AdSense. I've managed to sort out my YouTube ads and everything. They finally emailed me this afternoon to say everything's a go-go. So there is super chat on this today. If you feel like donating to the channel, I've explained what I'm donating to. It's going to Parkinson's UK. 80% of that I make off super chats will be going to Parkinson's, and obviously 20% I'll do just for keeping the channel going. So if you do feel like donating, I'm not saying you have to in the slightest, but the option's there finally for super chats if you do want to, and your name will flash up in all sorts of beautiful colors and things like that. So if you do feel like donating, give it a shot, and thank you very much in advance. Guys, good evening.
How are we all doing?
Peter, we'll start with you. I've watched your play ratings and your feelings on the match yesterday. I was furious after the match, and John knows I was, because we were in such a good position at half-time, weren't we?
Yeah, we really were. I mean, first off, we attacked them. We had a goal. We went for it. We had chances. Shame we couldn't take another one after we got the equaliser.
Yeah.
To me, we shouldn't have fell behind. That first goal we conceded, to me, was preventable. But second half, Bruce's usual half-time team talk and everything, and then the chickens come home to roost as usual.
Yeah, I mean, John, obviously we did the watch-along yesterday, thoroughly enjoyable watch-along again. Both of us having to take food breaks, which was interesting. I managed to eat my Sunday dinner. I said 5 minutes, but I managed to do it in 7.5. And I didn't even get indigestion, which was a bonus. John, I mean, we spoke about it, just that what was said at halftime, the capitulation in the second half was just, it was dreadful.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, we did well the first 60 minutes, and then, wow. If you look at the second goal again, where Matic had 4 players around him, how did he get through? I just do not know. And then I thought Jamal Lewis was well out of position to allow Daniel James to get at the end of it, and he just pulled it through the back of the net. But all the opportunity missed, because when they'd gone the ones each, I thought we should have gone for these. We should have played Cowell up front. What he did, he took off Joe Linton. It brings on Fraser, who I thought is absolutely poor. He didn't hardly have a touch. And you know what it is, right? I just thought as opportunity missed. We should have gone for the equaliser and go. I didn't feel that great at United, but we made it good in the end. And paid a penalty again.
I mean, Barry, I want to bring you in on this one from Jason. It says, thoughts on the fact he was so pleased with the defeat to his boyhood club that he gave himself and the players the day off today instead of dragging them in. You would expect them to be in for training, wouldn't you, when given the situation we're in? And obviously the pictures of Steve Bruce smiling as he came off the pitch, joking around with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as if nothing had happened. It was just, the guy's a joke.
Yeah, I said this on Twitter to another one of our fans, and I said, if you're going to smile with the other manager in the other dugout after just beat you 3-1, you make sure you storm down that tunnel looking like you're about to let rip into all the players in the changing room, and you do it behind the scenes, away from the cameras. Have your bottle of red upstairs with them and have a laugh then. Don't do it while the cameras are on you. It just shows you what kind of man he is.
It really Yeah, it really pissed me off. I mean, Peter, I know you've been quite explosive on your videos now about Steve Bruce going. What worries me is that he's not going to be fired, and we're going to be ending up in deep shit. I mean, Richard's put a comment there. Good evening to you. Newcastle United lined up to be the next Leeds United if a new owner with deep pockets and an eye for a good manager comes in. It's all about, Newcastle United now, Peter, desperately needing a takeover because it just doesn't look like he's going to sack Steve Bruce. And I don't know why he's playing Russian roulette with this. He's in for such a shock when he loses so much money because, I just can't understand him.
Oh, I think I'm going to say now, I said he's been one of the worst. I've now come to a decision. He's now the worst we've had.
Yeah.
Now since, it's just, what do they see in this at the board? What do they see in this manager?
Mm-hmm.
Look at the stats this season. They're one of the worst I've seen as a Newcastle fan.
Yeah.
We've got a better squad, but we look even shit.
Yeah.
We are in absolute deep shite. And now, 3 points above the drop, and all it's now going to take is for Fulham to go and grab 3 points against Crystal Palace, and there we are. We're in it now.
Well, I said last night on my this morning I did a review and player ratings video. So if you haven't seen any of our reviews, go and check them out, guys. Links are in the description, I think. I'll check at the end of the show, but I think I put them in again. What worries me is if we sink into that bottom 3, we're not going to get out of it because the pressure is going to be, you know what it's like for teams that suddenly get dragged into it, stuck in the bottom 3. We're in big trouble. The confidence drops every time the ball comes near them, the panic. The whole perception of the team changes when you're in the relegation zone. And I don't believe for 1 second that we've got the players to get out of it. That's the worry. Jason says, don't you want to punch him on the other side of his nose to knock it back into place so it doesn't always look broken? Yes, I'm sick of his skew with nose, to be honest. I'm sick of the man himself. Chippers, good evening. Walked into Blythe Butchers and saw John and Joe Linton. They were both massaging their sausages slowly. Oh my God. Here we are trying to be serious about last night's game and Chippers pops up. By the way, you guys must realise that Chippers made a comment on my reaction show last night about Ann Summers. And it's been found out that Chippers does actually camp out in the doorway a lot of Ann Summers on he pretends homeless just so he can the answer.
Oh, God. God.
Yeah, good evening, Chippers, mate. A lot of people find that funny. Now, I want to talk about the substitutions, guys. John, we were staggered when we were doing the watch along. We were sort of watching, and then obviously, off comes ASM, off comes Miggy, and it's just what the hell? What the hell? And a lot of people tweeted me saying, it's to conserve the players for next week. We, as a club, are not in the situation to conserve players. We need our best players on the pitch. Man United have been known to concede late goals. I know it was doubtful, but you never know. But taking our best players off was just shambolic, John.
You know what it is? Steve Bruce, we both know, and all people in the chat realise as well, that he's got a defeatist attitude. And, when we watched it last night, we went 3-1, do not get it. But took ASM off and Miggy off, I thought, this guy has totally lost it. And to me, he's just going for damage limitations as well, because, man, you could have got 4, 5, 6 if they wanted to. But listen, I'm not being funny here, sort of thing. You're right. We're not in a position to rest the players. We still have, 15 minutes to go? Anything can happen. We could have scored in the 80th minute. We could have scored in the 85th minute. The trouble is Newcastle, right? We do not go for it. You know what I mean? When the chips are down, when it really matters, right? We just haven't got a clue. And this is why, and I have to agree with you guys as well, that PD as well, that we are going to hit the bottom 3 and we will not get out of it. And I'll ask you a question as well around the house. Look at the players we've got, right? You name me it's Joe Linton, Fraser, Kraft, and unbang average player to get us out of this mess if we're in the bottom 3. Because I'll tell you something, lads, we're not. And I've said for about 2-3 weeks now, Fulham will catch up on us. We've 10 points ahead of Fulham. It's down to 3. Right? Scott Parker's doing a wonderful job.
I mean, Fulham, the only shining light we have at the minute is that Fulham have, after Crystal Palace, they've got Liverpool, Man City, and I can't remember who else it is. They've got some difficult games coming up. Yeah, right? So that's our shining light. And we've got some winnable games. I hate that word because, we can't even hit a freaking barn door at the minute. So, I mean, Barry, the substitutions were dreadful. It just showed for me that Bruce had given up on the game. And what kind of message does that send out to the players?
It's a difficult one. And then the reason I say it is because ASM and Fraser have just come back from injury, haven't they? So he's rested Fraser on the bench again. He's took ASM off to protect him. On the run, ran his socks off. And potentially might not have had any minutes because of the amount of running that he did. Has he saved them for the Fulham game, or did he give up? I mean, the players looked like they gave up when the penalty was given away, didn't they? All the heads dropped. There didn't seem to be much arguments about the penalty decision itself.
Well, you could argue that the second goal, the heads went down as well. I mean,
right.
Just as normal. What worries me is when we're conceding goals, our heads drop immediately. And I mean, yesterday after they scored, credit to the lads that came back and got an equaliser, but we were the better team in the first half. I don't care what anybody says.
Were, definitely.
By a long shot, we were the best team. And that's what I can't understand what had been said in the dressing room. I mean, the first 10 minutes of the second half, we pressed again. But as soon as Man United went ahead, dreadful defending again. And by the way, guys, Pedro Neto, and Traore are just going to be licking their lips at the opportunity to run at our fullbacks on Saturday. It's just going to be scary, man. Richard says, Joe Linton looking for one big contract. He's looking to his phone. Oh, God, yeah. Good evening, Jake. Evening, Andrew. Trulls. Hey, it's John Linton. Now, John.
Yes, Paul.
While we're on the subject of John Linton, as you well know, there was a poll that I put on Twitter last week, lasting for 24 hours. To vote whether you should change your Twitter handle to John Linton for 24 hours. Now, the results were quite categoric, if I have to say.
Oh, God, here we go.
Oh, yeah, it was 2 minutes as phone call work.
Well,
phone call work. It's Joe Linton.
That's Joe Linton. Work my ass.
Again, he's doing it.
Look, he's away. He's away. He's got something. Honestly, can you believe he's just walked out? Hey, I tell you. Anyway, we'll go through some of the comments while he's dickied off, and then we'll announce the results. I'm sure he knows them. Jason, hope I cheered you up with the tweet I sent you all after that shite we saw yesterday. Jason, you're becoming a bit of a comedian, mate. You should be on stage. But keep them all coming tonight, guys. It's fantastic. Well done, Peter, says Andrew. Well done, PD. Hit the like button. Yes, please do hit the like button, guys, if you're enjoying the show. I know we've only been going 15 minutes so far, but here. And Taylor, thank you very much. My first ever super chat. Taylor's donated. Thank you very much, Taylor. Congratulations. You are my first ever super chat. Thank you so much, my man. Just as I mentioned at the start of the show, my super chats are finally up and running. So if you'd like to donate to me, 80% going to Parkinson's UK and 20% to my channel. So if you do want to donate, please do, and you get your name in shining lights and a big shout out from me. So there you go. Thank you very much, Taylor. Oh, he's back. Look. Oh, he's gone again. Oh, he's shut the door.
Yeah,
John, how's Joe?
Good evening, John.
Good evening, guys.
What did Joe Linton want?
I said
just for his price tag to be knocked down.
He's put some of the transfer requested here.
Yeah. Anyway, John, like I was saying before you rudely walked out on me, as you know, there was a poll last week, John, on Twitter. All right. By the way, John, I've just got my first ever super chat. Look.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks for listening, my guy. Thanks for the donation. And
right, John, shut up and listen. Right, the final vote for you changing your name to John Linton, just for 24 hours, just your Twitter handle, your username, not nothing else, just your Twitter handle for 24 hours to John Linton was 80% wanted you to do it. So John,
it's a knockout.
you have to make a promise to all the viewers on here now, and there's plenty of them, right? That you are going to change from midnight tonight, or whenever you get up in the morning to go to work, you will change your Twitter handle to John Linton for 24 hours. Can we have a yes, John?
Come on.
Well,
Come on,
Come
John.
on, it's all in good spirits, man.
yeah, go on then. I'll let
Yay! John Linton, ladies and gentlemen, will be on Twitter for 24 hours tomorrow. Fantastic. Well done, John.
Don't tell Holly, mind. My girl.
No.
Don't tell her, mind.
We'll not tell Holly. I mean, she'll see it anyway, but we'll not tell her.
Shout out
Chippers
to
is back.
Sam as well, there he is, Sam again. He was the one who wanted the poll done. So
Yeah, it's all
well done,
Chippers'
Sam.
fault, John. It's all Chippers' fault,
You know
mate.
what? I'll be having words.
Chippers says, what time does your ASMR channel go live with Joel tonight, John?
He's not bad. He's not bad.
Oh, God. You know when you get that feeling that something is actually going to go on for like months and months, it's just never going to end, to be honest. God, I'm sweating that much. My glasses are steaming up now. That's not a good sign at all. Oh, honestly, some people who've had this vaccine said, oh, don't worry, you just get a dead arm. You know, I slept for 4 hours this afternoon, right? And I've been sweating like a pig ever since I've woke up. So, you know, thanks very much for all the advice on the COVID vaccine. I really appreciate it. But I'll battle on, don't worry. Right. Anything you want to bring up about the game yesterday? Guys.
The elbow.
The elbow
How did
on
VAR
Lascelles.
miss that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we all
he didn't
missed
get
it.
the elbow in the face, but he got checked, didn't he? I mean, that to me is a blatant foul. And anywhere on the pitch other than the penalty box, that's a free kick.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I didn't
I don't
actually
understand
see
why
it, and
wasn't a
John.
penalty.
We didn't see it, did we, John? I mean, it sort of, you know, we saw the high ball come in, but we
that was it, and
Yeah.
we never saw anything else. And
it was definitely a penalty.
It was
I mean,
shocking.
without a shadow of a doubt. But what I want to
Right.
know is, why isn't VAR watching that, Peter?
They said they were.
Oh, probably because it's Man United, and apparently they've been known to get away with it.
Yeah.
For the past so many times, and
Yeah.
oh, hey man, but I've seen it
If that
closely.
was
And,
at the other end, it would have been reviewed, wouldn't it?
yeah, exactly.
Without a doubt.
I mean, I've seen them given, and it's just
I mean, I know they got a penalty, and I think at the end of the day it was a penalty because Willock was late and he did hit his foot. However, let me finish, Peter, before you rip my head off here, because I know you disagree with the penalty. I'm not happy at the way Rashford went down, mind. I'm really not. I think, you know, he knows he was touched, and then there was like a couple of seconds, and then he sort of took off like a swan. I mean, he'd already done Willock inside out. If he could have kept it, I mean, if I'm in that position, I'm thinking, right, I'm in on goal, I'm going to shoot. But obviously he didn't, and down he goes in a penalty. But Peter, I know you feel quite strongly about that penalty.
I think it looks quite soft, in my opinion. I mean, and just the way Rashford, as you mentioned, he goes down as if he's been shot with a sniper rifle in the stands, and I mean, it's just, oh, hey man, I mean, sometimes I've seen not them given before.
Yeah,
it just depends on the contract, but to me,
but it's Man United. It was always going to be a penalty.
Well, yeah, there you go.
You know, there's nothing really
I
we
think
can
the
do
one
about
thing
that.
that
To me,
really
it
set
is
it
quite
was
soft.
the players' reaction, wasn't it? The Newcastle
Yeah.
players never complained. Willock
No,
never
they
complained
didn't.
either, and that's what then said no point in reviewing it. It's definitely a penalty. So,
But they've just given up, hadn't they? I mean, I thought
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
just
well,
like,
yeah.
oh, we've given away a penalty. It's all over now. Let's just sod it and go home. John Bruce, good evening, John. Hi, chaps. Hope you're all okay after yesterday's result. Yes, we are. Thank you very much. I've certainly calmed down a bit. Jason says John Linton will blitz past 1,000 subs as soon as he cuts his ties with Joe Linton.
wow,
There you go. Steve the Sharks, I blooming love this show. Thank you very much, mate. We love doing it. Oh, what is this from Jason? No promoting your Pornhub tonight, John.
oh, no.
Oh, do you know what it is, John? I'll tell you something. it's harsh, mate. It's harsh.
He's got a lot more
He
clothes
looks like
on
some
tonight,
kind
though,
of
hasn't he?
bloody. I'm going to start calling him Papa John. I mean,
He's like Papa Cisse, then.
well, no, John. I think you should keep your hood down, mate, because you look like a pimp. Thomas says, lads, I saw Joe Linton, John Bruce, and Kraft at the zoo. They are looking for blobfishes and proboscis monkeys.
Oh, God.
Hey, I tell you what, though, guys. I tell you what, right? That blobfish thing caught on so quickly. It really did. I mean, it was absolutely incredible because whoever found that blobfish, I've took it off my computer for some reason. I'm very upset about that. Honestly, it was just quality, absolute quality.
I had it as a screensaver for a while.
I know. Well, it really does look like him, though. That's the thing. It looks the spit of him. Jake says Bruce's plan ended up being lump it up to Miggy, who can't be expected to be a target man. It was like watching McLaren in charge, lump it up to little Jose Perez. What the hell is the point? The thing is, right, there was one incident in the first half that Miggy got the ball and he absolutely blitzed past Lindelof. I don't know whether you can remember it.
Yeah. I do, yeah.
And that was the only time that anybody from the Newcastle team actually ran at those two lumps in the Manchester United defence. Because let's face it, Maguire is a lump. He can't run. He can jump and head a ball, but he can't run. I've seen snowmen run quicker than Harry Maguire, right? And Lindelof is just all over the place. Yet we did not test them at all, John, yesterday.
Not at all. Not at all. I expected a lot more than that. We said we can run at them. They're not the quickest. We can have some joy. But unfortunately, again, that the players just didn't, apart from me, the players just didn't believe in themselves. You know what I mean? Like I always said, we need an Andy Cowell up there to roughen them up because Joe Linton ain't going to do it. But it's again, man, what can you do?
Well, that's why I wanted Andy Carroll to come on, to be honest, because I thought if he comes on, we stand such a much better chance of roughing them up. But it's all about getting balls into the box as well. So, Sharky, how's your legs after your walk? We haven't seen Sharky tonight, so I don't know where he. I know he did a 26-mile walk yesterday, so his video was late coming out today. But I hope he's still alive. He's done his review video, so I think he's okay. But he might be a bit sore. But well done to Sharky for that yesterday. Fantastic stuff. Geordie says, evening all. Have we ever had a manager who is worse than Bruce? He makes Pardew look like Guardiola. Barry, Peter's already said that he thinks that Bruce is the worst we've ever had. I tend to now agree with Peter. I think we've had some horrible managers over our time, but this guy, he's just taking the biscuit, isn't he?
He is, yeah. I mean, the other ones you can think of are Carver, and Sam Allardyce was terrible football when he was here. And when I first started going to games, there was he wasn't exactly the greatest either, but Steve Bruce has took it to a new level, hasn't he? I completely agree with Peter. He's just absolutely a shambles. And like I said, we're not going to go anywhere and we're going to get relegated if he's still in charge.
Yeah, it's just awful to watch at the minute.
Yeah.
Taylor, John and Joe Linton were spotted fishing for blobfish on the Blythe beach for a wife for Steve Bruce. Great stuff, Taylor. You know what it is. Quality. Richard says, manager hasn't got a clue, can't motivate the players, and it's rubbing off on the players on the pitch. Guy's a bloody fossil. Yes, he is. And, we do have that fantastic dinosaur derby to look forward to. I think the game against West Brom, Peter, is possibly going to be the most boring game anybody's ever watched. Two absolute fossils going at it.
Well, yeah, both dinosaur tactically inept managers. It is Steve Bruce, Big Sam. This game could have 0-0 written all over it. It wouldn't surprise me one bit if it did.
Totally agree. Geordie says Gale and Carroll should have started. But that being said, I don't think any side that Bruce could have put out would have got us something from the match. I'm not so sure, because I think if we'd have gone with the same attitude, Geordie, in the second half, we were on top in that first half. We proved that we can get at Man United. And let's face it, guys, Man United were not at the races yesterday. And they haven't been at the races at home for a long time. Old Trafford used to be this place that everybody feared going. That doesn't happen anymore. And that's why I think we blew our chances yesterday. Man United played terribly. And Man United fans even admit to that. But the fact that we capitulated against a side that was playing badly, that we knew we had an opportunity to beat, it's just, it was heart-wrenching, John.
Well, I mean, that's down to Steve Bruce yet again. I mean, I've said it's an opportunity missed, and we've got some good players there that can score goals and you can play. If you look at that team, they look at an exciting team, but Steve Bruce has actually destroyed a lot of them. Do you know what I mean? And I think the players knew they want to have a go, but Steve Bruce said it's going to be defensive. So listen, at the end of the day, it's gone now. It's gone. We lost the game.
John, would you like to comment what's on the screen?
No.
I don't know over there.
Who has made that account? Who was behind that?
I know. It's a bit worrying. I think it could
one
be
thing as well
Sharky.
you mentioned about Man United not being at the races and that.
Yeah.
Look at the last two results as well. 3-3 against Everton, and they got beat off Sheffield United. You know, it says a lot, doesn't it, at Old Trafford? And we go there, get beat 3-1. It shows you where we are.
Exactly. I mean, that's the thing. You know, this is what I'm trying to say about people saying, "Oh, we've got winnable games coming up," and it's like, no, we haven't. You know, Brighton thumped us 3-0, and Sheffield United beat us 1-0. We scraped the win against West Brom at home. Let's not forget that. We did not play very well against West Brom. You know, we scored after, 20 seconds? And then it was just shite after that. So, you know, let's not get carried away here. John says Ashley is not going to sack him because he would have to pay the comp. Oh, yeah, that's exactly the reason why. Chippers, John and Joe Linton recreating that scene from Ghost when Demi Moore is making the pottery. Oh, my God. Do you want us to sing this song, John? Oh, my love. Oh, dear. Dave said, on forms this Christmas Day, be a rock bottom on every stat. Yeah, we are. I don't know whether you guys have seen that on Twitter. Somebody put out that all the stats since Christmas, and we are rock bottom of everything.
Not surprised one bit.
Yeah, I don't know who this Steve Bruce bloke is, by the way. He just keeps popping up. Jake says Leeds have shown that all you need is to get in a good quality manager and give him proper support. Good managers and coaches don't need tens of millions in the transfer window. It's not rocket science. Barry?
Kind of agree, yeah. We've had 110 million spent since Bruce has come in. He's had the most money spent out of any manager under the Ashley era. And look what he's done with the squad that Rafa left him. We had the 7th best defence in the league. We were, I think, 6th on form in the Premier League when we finished the season, when we stayed up on with Rafa. And we've just completely gone backwards. Everyone's gone backwards. Yeah. The long staff. What's happened to Sean? You know what I mean?
Well, apparently Sean's... there's been a lot of rumours out about Sean today. Guys, I do apologise for keep having to clean my glasses, but seriously... I've never sweated like this since I was last in full hockey gear. I tell you, honestly, it's terrible. Get the vaccine, guys. I've lost what I was going to say now, but never mind.
Talk about Sean Longstaff, mate.
Oh yeah, apparently he's had a falling out with Bruce, which I think we all had a feeling that was the case anyway, because the stuff that was apparently was after Sheffield United, but. It's all rumours, obviously, but you never know. Andrew Archer, good evening. Good evening, lads. It looks like another 13 games of diarrhea coming out of his press. Get ready for more Joe Linton banter I have in mind. You fire away, Archer, mate. You fire away. That's what this show's all about. Latest is Brighton 0, Palace 1.
I'm watching it on my iPad, so he's up to date.
I'm glad you're concentrating, Barry. Jory says Wolves match on the weekend is massive. Of course it is, without a doubt. Just pinch this off Twitter. Well, just look at that. Bruce's recent record or a place in Wales. Dear God. I mean, how does a manager survive that, Peter?
Oh, I think a manager would have been long gone if they were in a job managing a team like that. That was the run they were on.
Yeah.
Any manager would have been out the door, but because it's our board, it's like, no, we'll just keep them on a bit longer and see what happens from there.
Yeah. Ethan. Now, Ethan is a man of controversy, shall we say already. Me and Ethan have had many disagreements, but he's a good lad, and he's always got an opinion, which, you know me, I don't mind people having an opinion. And I'll fight my corner with mine, but at the end of the day, that is football. So Ethan says, I will get a lot of hate for this. Look at Brighton's fixtures. If they lose tonight and their next game, I think they'll go down. They'll definitely struggle, whereas we have 5 to 6 winnable games. yes, Brighton can be dragged into it. I have no doubt about it. But when you say winnable games, Ethan, it makes me smile because, when have we had winnable games all season? With the new system, yes, we are playing better with the new system. There's no doubt about that, and I tend to agree. But it's these winnable games that I don't agree with because it's simply Newcastle United. Ania, good evening to you, mate. Evening, lads. Get my name right. Right, I've called you Ania. Is that right? Because I called him Arun last night, but I was all head up. I wasn't seeing straight, and hey ho. I just hope Ania is the right one. Chris says, "Hey up, lads, marching on together." Well, you are. We're not. Jake says, "At Ethan9, hope you're right. I still want Leeds to sign Ben White." I don't know who Ben White is. Anybody?
I think he went on loan to Leeds. It was either last season or the season before that, I think.
Right. Okay. Tom says Bruce understands fans' fears, but remains confident we'll step up this season.
I heard that.
I think he means stop up, but this is what gets me about Steve Bruce. John, he's full of crap. Basically, every single time he says, "I'm not worried about relegation," and he always says there's 5 or 6 teams involved in the relegation battle. The man's deluded, isn't he?
He said 13 the other day, and he's dropped down to 7. Do you know what I mean? Listen, this guy, I'm not being funny. I'll begin to hate this guy, and hate's not a word I used. I just think he's trying to insult every single Newcastle fans. He's trying to manipulate the press, the fans as well. He talks a lot of crap, and if I was Bruce, I'd keep his mouth shut and just get the wins. Well, you need to stir up because at the minute, he's lost the dressing room. According to the girl Sean Matty, he's lost the dressing room. He's lost the fans, the media. Right, he's lost everything. We all know that. But at the end of the day, I'm not being funny. This is real talk. Ashley doesn't give a toss. And another thing is, where's Chandley? Where is he? I mean, what is he doing about it? He's supposed to be running the show when Ashley's not out. Is he on furlough?
Well, the last time I saw him, John, was the Leicester game, to be honest. Guys, if any of you out there have seen Lee Charnley, feel free to put it in the live comments. He's definitely not with John, though. So, don't include John in that because he's got his hands full with Joe Linton. Archer says, first we have Blobfish and Steve Bruce. Peter, check out the new Joe Linton. The angry kid when he is telling Steve Bruce is the car wanker. Honestly. Broke Vlad, good evening to you. Many things are said about Joe Linton, but yesterday, since his substitution, the team got a lot worse. Barry, I did notice that. I think it was just coincidence, however. I don't think it was anything to do with Joe Linton going off injured. But that did seem like the turning point where Joe Linton went off and Man United just blitzed us after that.
Well, we did struggle to hold the ball up front, though, didn't we? Because we had Almiron step in his place and Fraser came on. So there wasn't really anyone there to really hit, wasn't there? You could say it changed the dynamic of the team a bit because they didn't have that out ball. I only remember Joe Linton doing one good thing the whole game, and that was when he put Kraft in down right. Yeah. And then I remember going on Twitter afterwards and seeing everyone explode about how good of a player he was because he did one good thing.
Honestly, the Joe Linton fans came out from under the stones last night. There was undoubtedly, they just appeared from nowhere. But I think the second best thing that Joe Linton did yesterday was go off injured. Chippers says, Blobfish Bruce has much life in him as the meat at Blythe Butchers. Paul disagrees with the penalty. So, again, it's just one of them things that, some people say it was, some people won't. Dino, good evening, mate. My worries is due to our form, which is worst in the league, or so-called winnable games. We look at us and say, we can get something out of these. Exactly. We're going on about these winnable games, and the teams around us will all be saying, right, well, hang on, if they think we can get something from Newcastle, look at the way they're playing. It's not just us looking at other teams thinking we can win. James Brown, good evening. James Brown, is it the James Brown? Because last time I heard he didn't have a good look. Living in America. Anyway, Almiron is the only player who deserves credit. He was brilliant yesterday. I mean, the guy ran his heart out. Ollie B says, it depresses me that a club our size is again relying on the other team's results. This should not happen. We should be relying on other results for a top 6 push, not a relegation battle. Peter.
Oh, hey, I mean, it's just with the squad we've got, we should be aiming to higher. But when you've got a manager who's tactically piss poor, CV lies in the Championship or even lower, you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know what is going to happen.
It's the problem is when we look at the games against Brighton, you look at what Brighton did to us against St James's. You know, they absolutely gubbed us a new one at St James's, right? Now, what right do we have to say that we look at Brighton away as a winnable game, John? It's not right, because they gubbed us, and Brighton have been pretty crap since they beat us. Let's not forget that, right? But they absolutely mullered us. What's to say they're not going to do the same to us at the Amex?
Wow. I just don't think it could be anyone, mate. But we couldn't beat them at home, you're right. But all these people saying, like, oh, it's going to be a winnable game, it's going to be a winnable game, sort of thing. But the winnable games we played, we haven't won the game. And
yeah, well, yeah.
I mean, I don't feel confident going to these games now. I really don't. People's going to say, oh, I'm being negative. I'm not being negative. It's true facts. And the fact of the matter is, I mean, we can't score goals, right?
Mm-hmm.
Scoring goals is a problem. You can't defend, right? Yeah. And there's not enough creativity. When's the last time John Joe, right, did a through ball or did an amazing pass for our strike to score a goal? I've not seen that at all whatsoever. We're badly missing Callum Wilson, but then again, you take him out of the team, we're just like a bang average team. That's it.
We do really lack creativity in midfield, don't we? We don't really provide our forward players with anything from midfield at the minute, and that is our downfall. Tom says, heard a rumour that John and Joe Litton are behind Paul in the changing room, giving him a run down his groin and hip injury. There isn't anything like that going on behind me, I can guarantee it, Tom. Certainly not. Ryan, good evening. I was confident about this season until we lost against Sheffield United. Ever since I've been worried about relegation. I think everybody is. I mean, the thing is, the Sheffield United game was massive if you look at it, because we were expected to go down there and actually, hopefully get 3 points, and it was just a shit show from the start. Steve Bruce says, anyone know a good barber for Big Joe? David, good evening. Ethan, what are you smoking, or have you been taken? Hey, everyone's got an opinion, guys. Let's not get personal on this show. But I did accuse Ethan of smoking something last night, like I have to admit. John is on FaceTime with Joe Linton. Yeah, we're talking about the phone just ringing there mysteriously. If we see John Linton, I will do a £10 super chat next show. There you go, John.
Yeah, I mean, if I've got 1,000 subscribers, man.
No, he means on my show. He means on this show, not yours. Right? Let's get that thing straight now. Right? John Linton is on Twitter tomorrow, guys, for 24 hours. So do go and check him out. Richard, thank you very much for the super chat. Parkinson's a worthy cause, better than the Newcastle survival course. Yeah, thank you very much. The reason I'm doing it is because obviously I do have Parkinson's myself, and they've been absolutely fantastic to me since I got diagnosed. So it's a way for me to give back. It's not all about me making money. I keep 20% of it for myself to keep the channel going and with all the accessories and stuff. But 80% of all this money is going straight to Parkinson. So thank you very much again for anyone that's hitting the super chats. Charles says, Steve Bruce, there's one in Amazonas. I'm not sure what he's on about there. But Chipper says, John and Joe Linton have steamy phone sex. Chipper's,
come on, Sam.
Chipper, seriously, man, your mind is somewhere that I was clearly isn't.
Very dirty mind.
Yeah, I think, Chippers, you need to find yourself a nice lady and settle down and not camp outside of Ann Summers, because it's not doing you any good, mate. All right? Taylor says, well done, Richard. Respect. Tom says, Tom, heard a rumour that John and Joe Linton are behind Paul in the changing room. We've just seen that one. Why has anybody noticed this about StreamYard? Sometimes the comments come up more than once. It's a bit bizarre. Richard Wakeman, top fella. That'll happen, man. That'll happen. Thomas says, what about for the rest of his life, John Joe Linton? That's not going to happen.
Oh, that's never going to happen. That's going to take a huge donation, that.
Yeah, John's clearly got some business going on tonight, guys, because he's checking his phone every 5 seconds, if you've noticed. Something's going on with John behind the scenes. Geordie says, at John Linton on Twitter, that is what it's going to be tomorrow. So do check John Sinclair's Twitter page out tomorrow. He's promised us, so he's not a man to break his promises. So there you go. Ethan says John Linton quality. Taylor, it's only £1, but cheers. Hey, anything is a bonus, man. Don't worry about that. Jason says Mr. John Linton Craft Sinclair.
That's a good one. I like that.
Oh dear. Oh God. Andrew, I'm not on Twitter, but my sister is. We'll get her to follow you, John. There you go. You'll gain another follower. So absolutely fantastic stuff. Benno, thank you for the super chat. First time in yesterday. Quality content and a good cause. Giving some to charity, Paul. No problem at all. Thank you very much, Benno. It's a pleasure to have you on the channel, mate. And thank you again for that. Steve says we need to get a new manager soon or we are doomed. Right, guys, let's have a look at it now, right? How many games are left? 13, 14?
Let's have a look.
Because what I'm thinking, we've got the, we've got an international break coming up in, I think, 4 games' time. So do we look at it and say, right, is Mike actually looking at the international break as a time where 4 games left for Steve Bruce, and if we don't get anything from these winnable games, then he'll pull the trigger. Barry?
I'm too late. I've got a great stat. So the last time we went down under McLaren, 25 games played, 24 points. Steve Bruce, 25 games played, 25 points. That says it all to me. If Mike actually doesn't see that and understand the situation we're in, he's never going to see it. It'll be too late. You'll pull the trigger after the international games, and the bus will go down anyway. You didn't give Shearer enough chance. You didn't give Benitez enough chance. We're screwed.
Yeah. Honestly, it boggles the imagination. Thank you very much, Taylor, for another super chat. Really appreciate that. Geordie says Manchester United, Young and Shola, product of the famous Wallsend Boys Club. Surely we should be introducing local talent instead. Yeah, I mean, we noticed when he came on, John, we did mention that, he was from the Northeast. And Peter, it's got to be a kick in the teeth when you see somebody that's, come from a fantastic setup like the Wallsend Boys Club, which it's internationally renowned now. And then you see somebody from that boys club coming on as a substitute for Manchester United.
Exactly. And what could you say? Why we're not giving these youngsters an opportunity? It's a good time to try. Sounds like Steve Bruce is allergic to something that's preventing him doing that now. Like he's not partnering Fraser and ASM on the start as well.
Guys in the game.
Sorry?
1-1.
1-1 now. Oh, God. Bloody hell. Paul, if you feel a bit drained, then the physio's bench is right behind you. I wish it was, mate. I wish it was. Joel says, now we know why Joe Linton didn't play for a while, right, John? Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Tom says, just seen John and Joe Linton on Rocker Pier fishing for blobfish. Johnny...
Guys, I have to show you this because
go on then.
God!
Sent me a tweet, right? And this is Steve Bruce looking good, apparently. Can you see that?
You're frozen, Barry. Oh, there you go. Oh my God! Look at that. Do you know what though? The more you look at the blobfish, the more it does look like Steve Bruce. The nose is perfect on a blobfish. It's just that flat, bent, out of shape look that Steve Bruce has got, hasn't he? Geordie says, Man United always get penalties, so it was predictable. Yeah, we said that, John, during the watch-along, didn't we? That it was going to happen at some point. Gary, good evening to you, mate. Well, for NUFC, did play well, but in the second half, we had no energy. So would you say NUFC are lacking of fitness to carry on for a full game? What gets me is we don't play for 90 minutes. And I know a lot of people have mentioned this, but we don't play for 90 minutes in a game. It's either we play well first half or we play well second half. It's never a combined game. And John, this is something that we have to improve on. We have to play for 90 minutes because, to me, it's nothing to do with fitness. Manchester United played in Sociedad on Thursday night. We had a week off, so it wasn't anything to do with fitness, in my opinion. I just think that we can't put two halves of football together.
Well, you said that you don't think it's down to fitness, but I think it's a tactical aware sort of thing, if anything. Steve Bruce, so tactically in the left, right?
Yeah.
He just sticks the same all the time. And the thing is, I mean, he doesn't do tactical changes. He does do tactical awareness sort of thing. Those are always the same. If it's a 4-3-3, sticks to 4-3-3. 5-4-1, exactly the same. But I don't know what to say, man. But for me, I just don't think they train hard enough. Do you know what I mean? I think standard training, in my opinion, they don't train about 3-4 times a week. That's been the rumor. But I just don't think, I don't know what it is, but I just think it's confidence at the end of the day.
Yeah. I just don't understand. I mean, Steve Bruce is obviously, we know he's not a motivator, are we? So Kevin says, as soon as we go behind, our heads drop now. That needs to change for you to stay up. Exactly. I mean, we've said that. The heads drop. Matthew says, you look like a proper grafter. You deserve a bacon sarnie. Okay. Are you talking about me, Matthew, or one of the other guys? But I could do with a bacon sarnie. Like, Matthew says, I'm sure you've been in the changing room for about a week now. I've been stuck in this changing room for about 3 weeks, Matthew, to be honest. It's been empty for the 3 weeks. I haven't seen anybody kicking about, apart from I've seen John Sinclair sneaking around a couple of times, taking photos of where Joe Linton gets changed. Kevin says, soon as we go. Oh, yeah, we've seen that one. Taylor says, Paul, you should put a picture of Blobfish in the background instead of St. James's. That might not be a bad idea for next week's show, Taylor. I might just do that, matey. Guys, if you are enjoying the show, do hit the like button. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please do. Really building up the channel now. It's really coming together. And so are the other guys. You know, we're really fighting to get each other up on the subscribers. So do subscribe to the channel. The links to all the other guys' channels are down below in the description. If they're not there, then they will be at the end of the show, but I'm pretty sure they are there because I did all the description and that for this show last week, so it should be there. But go and sign. Do, if you're feeling kind, drop a super chat on for me. 80% to Parkinson's, 20% to the channel. And guys, just hope you're enjoying it. Right, Neil says, what's your thoughts on the elbow on Lascelles on the goal line? We've discussed this. It should have gone to VAR, but I have a feeling if it was down the other end of the pitch, it definitely would have. Jason says, Papa John Linton. I said, don't promote John's Pornhub. Papa John Linton, that is class. Oh, God, you are getting, honestly, seriously, mate, you are getting some really good little names coming. Papa John Linton just sounds cool, doesn't it? It just sounds like the dude is in the house. You know what I mean? You can just see John walking into a nightclub with his big fur coat on, his big hat, with a big doobie out his mouth, walking in, and everybody just bowing down to him. Papa John is in the house. You know what I mean? Honestly, you could just see it, man. Matthew says, just seen Joe Linton near Blythe Butchers eating shite at the counter. Doesn't surprise me. He is the biggest flop the club has ever had. Yeah, Peter, I mean, I'm starting to think he's one of the worst. I mean, 40 million quid, mate. You know what I mean? I mean, I know I said I wouldn't talk about the money very much anymore, but 40 million quid. I mean, 40 million pound.
Exactly. I mean, all you had to do is look at his stats from his previous clubs. Hoffenheim, I think in total about 7 goals. And they thought, we'll bring it to the Premier League and see if he'll do even better. Look how it's massively backfired.
Exactly. John, what was your thoughts on the Merseyside derby?
I thought, to be fair, I think Everton played really well. I mean, Liverpool had a few chances, but I thought Mo Salah, that dive. Look, Mo Salah, I think is a cracking player. He's world class, but he needs quite a time. He doesn't need to do this. You know what I mean? I've made up for Everton fans as well because that's the first time he won at Anfield for quite a long time, and Carlo Ancelotti, obviously I love Italian football, as you know. I mean, he's done a canny job there, but he needs to work on his home wins as well, which hasn't been doing quite well. But listen, Everton, it's their night. Merseyside is blue, so I think they deserve to win it in the end. But Liverpool's been poor the last 4 games, and I don't know what's wrong with them at a minute in time, but they need to fix up quickly.
I mean, for me, it was only a matter of time before injuries started creeping up on Liverpool, to be honest. I mean, they've got some big players missing. And, I don't care who you replace them with. The Van Dijk one was always going to catch up on them, but they've lost so many defenders. I mean, they were never going to be the same team. Having to play Jordan Henderson in defence, which he's done all right, to be fair to him. But they were always going to miss big players like that. Chipper says, John, did you give Joe Linton some treatment today after last night's injury?
I was a one.
Gary says, especially for John Joe Shelby, I would place a pint at the end of the pitch or the rugby field. He'll still miss the target, even if a naked woman was in goal. Yeah, I mean, John Joe's free kicks have been pretty shocking, to be honest. I mean, he had one against Chelsea, which was a good save. But really, I mean, they've been poor. Sharky is alive, ladies and gentlemen. I'm still alive. Just about missing yesterday's match was the best decision I made. We are so predictable under Steve Bruce. Couldn't be more right. Jason says, on a serious note, Jason being serious? Never. With Liverpool not doing too well of late, I see Fulham picking up points at Palace, Liverpool, Leeds and Burnley. Not to mention us if we don't book our ideas up. Barry, what's your thoughts on that?
I completely agree with them. I've always said Fulham are a massive danger. They're the one team that looked like they could pull off a shock, and they could pull off a shock against Liverpool. I can't see why not.
Yeah, I mean, Charles is just saying there, Miss Demba Bar, Shearer, Papi Cisse, etc. Don't forget Papa John as well. Yeah, I know. Honestly. Exquisite says Bruno Fernandes was always going to do some stupid-looking penalty. It was a stupid-looking penalty, Peter, but, what the hell was Darlow doing, by the way?
Oh, I got onto that.
I mean, what was that?
I have an idea what he was trying to do. I think he was trying to jump forward to get off his line to make the referee make him retake it. So you had an idea.
Well,
where
worked a bloody treat that, didn't it?
Terrible, though, didn't it? It did look terrible.
Oh, guys, if you haven't seen it, try and go and watch it somewhere. Just watch Darlow at the penalty. It was absolutely farcical.
Time for Dubravka to come back in now.
Yeah,
undoubtedly.
He's got to come back in.
Totally agree. 100%. And, I think every Newcastle fan wants him back now, mostly. Thomas says, lads, it will be okay. It was called the Five Horsemen of the Toon with special guest Joe Linton. John, have you tried to get Joe Linton on the show?
His English is not very good still, so I don't think just yet.
His English isn't very good, but he knows how to say slowly, John.
Slowly.
Jesus Christ.
Brilliant.
We're going back to the photo again.
As Benno says, Wolves is a must-win. They aren't the same side without Jimenez. I think they do miss Jimenez desperately. But, I'm just worried about our fullbacks getting done, John.
Well, Jamal Lewis and Emil Kraft, I'm sorry, but they're just not good enough for the minute. They're going to get ripped a good one on Saturday. I'm telling you. It just picks up. I mean, Neto, is it Neto? On one,
Pedro Neto, yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, this guy's destined for the top. He's going to be absolutely world-class, and he has to call me because he's quick, direct, skillful, and Traore can be a bit inconsistent at times, but once he goes, and I tell you what, I'm going to feel sorry for the full-backs on Saturday. I really do. And if they don't,
the thing is, John, if you look at Jamal Lewis, John, okay, and he's probably the paciest left back we've got, because we're going to have to put somebody in there who's going to be able to try and keep up with him, because Dummett certainly won't be able to do that, and neither will Matt Ritchie if Matt Ritchie's still on the planet. So it's going to have to be Lewis, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got no choice. It's going to have to be him. But at the end of the day, I mean, Lewis hasn't been playing really well. That's the problem. And we're going to have to persevere with the lad, you know what I mean? Under a different manager, I think he'd be quality. But under Steve Bruce, I'm sorry, but I just think he's been regressed. And that's not his fault. The blame's got to be down on Bruce and not Lewis, really. But the games I've seen him played, I mean, he hasn't been very good.
Yeah, exactly. John Bruce says it's a good job John can take the flak. It's a bloody good job we can all come on here and have a good laugh in this horrible COVID time. Fair play to John. Exactly, and we said this the other week. You know, he's a massive good sport, is John Sinclair. You know, he's took some hammer about that Joe Linton comment. And to be fair, he's going to take hammer for weeks to come. So it is a good job he can take it. Kevin says we're scared to go and win games. That's why Bruce has installed our team. It does seem, I mean, I said it on my review this morning. that Barry, I just think that Steve Bruce, he wasn't bothered that we didn't win that game yesterday because he didn't want us to win the game.
Yeah, it looked like that, didn't it? Especially with him laughing with Ollie, as we discussed before. Is he not bothered because he knows he's not going to get sacked and he's still going to keep on picking up his wages?
Yeah.
Just is this why the players are now looking at it going, well, we've tried our best to get you sacked. We can't get you sacked, so we'll just carry on what we're doing. I said to John on his little show, I said, the only way we're going to get rid of Steve Bruce out with the management is move upstairs until the end of the season and then let Graham take over. And if Ashley's got any business sense about him, he would look at that option. Yes, Bruce will still be picking up his full wage, but at least we won't be paying $4 million compensation for him. And then we'll have a new man in charge with the right ideas, the right desire, the right passion, and you might get we're playing again.
I mean, Chippers comes out with a good point for once in his life. He says, what I laugh at, Bruce said 40 points was safety. And last night he said he doesn't know. I mean, where does that leave us, Peter? If Steve Bruce doesn't know, how the hell are we supposed to? You know, he just contradicts himself so many times, time after time after time.
Exactly. That's why he should be away from this club now. Should have been gone a long time ago.
Exactly.
That's why I've classed this manager the worst we've had now. Oh, my word. I get more annoyed when I see his face. I don't listen to his press conferences because I've given up with him completely now. Oh, hey, man.
The thing is, does he? I'll look at Scott Parker, right? Mm-hmm. Scott Parker, the guy is passionate. He shouts. He gets into the assistant referee's way to get his way. He barges out, has a gun, putting a few things out, solving the players as well. Yeah, and he puts this message across to the players, and the players respond to him, right? Mm-hmm. Steve Bruce, what does he do? He puts his hands in his pockets, just walk out boots. And he does not inspire a sweet fear. And this is the manager. This is their manager, not my manager. Mm-hmm. He's the one that's got to inspire the players. He's the one that's got to cheer them up. And he has to even do it. And it's so frustrating. I mean, to me, I just don't think he cares.
No, he doesn't.
There's a great one on Twitter, if you've seen it. Scott Parker, I feel like we win every game we can play. Steve, let's see where we are at the end of the season. That says everything about the two managers.
Yeah, Scott Parker is installing belief in his players, and that's what a good manager should do. Chipper says Lee Charnley is getting a massage off Joe Linton. Oh my God! Jake says Lee Charnley is with Danger Mouse where he belongs. Penfold. Yeah. Steve says, "Good evening, Steve. What striker would you put up front against Wolves?" Well, that's a toughie to me because you know what? I'd love to put somebody like I would love to see one of the kids go in. I really would. I'd love to see like Anderson, Sorensen. You know, but we know they're not. Sorensen's on loan, isn't he, or is he still?
No, he scored today for the under-23s.
Oh, did he? Give him a chance. The kid's been banging in goals for a long time now. Give him an opportunity. But it's Steve Bruce, guys. He doesn't give kids the opportunity to do anything. Joe Linton has contacted us to say hi, lads. I don't actually know who the hell that is, to be honest. I think there's that many people changing the YouTube handles that I really do not know who these people are anymore. Taylor says John was the first person in the dressing room when Joe Linton got injured. John then proceeds to knock out the doctor just to get a kiss. And go on a date to KFC. Oh my God. Yeah, have a bit of chicken. Hey Joe, have a bit of chicken, my man. Jules says, and how do you know John has a handful of Joe Linton? Were you there, Paul? Absolutely not. I have nothing to do with their relationship. What John does with Joe Linton in his own time is John's own problem, not mine. Let's get that straight. Guys, if you're enjoying the show, do hit the like button and do subscribe to the channel. Please do subscribe to all the other guys' channels. Links down in the description. Super chats are now available on this channel. If you'd like to donate to Parkinson's, 80% to them and 20% to my channel, it'll mean the world to us. So thanks very much, guys. Andrew says the club is a total shambles. What on earth would Sir Bobby think? Sir Bobby will have been spinning in his grave for years now, probably ever since Ashley took us over. Steve Bruce says, I'll give Charlie a belt to find out where he is. Go on, John.
the biggest trick on this as well. Like you've got look at the position we're in now, Reed. You know, could you Rafa Benitez, Bobby Robson, and Kevin Keegan, right? With the team we've got today, right? We will not be 17th today.
Yeah.
No way. The team will be higher at the table, right? So if they can get higher on the table, why Steve Bruce can't get them higher on the table? Why?
Because he's a terrible manager, John. It's as simple as that.
He's shite.
Exactly.
Jason says, I found Charlie, guys. He's been sighted with Danger Mouse on a mission to save the world. Lee Charlie is serving on in Blythe Butchers. John and Joe Litton have Lee Charlie's meat at Blythe Butchers. Oh, God almighty. Chipper, seriously, man, you are a disgrace to society. Honestly, how are you not locked up? Cheers, Brian, for that latest score. Steve Bruce says Charlie is busy giving Joe Linton a haircut. Andrew says, Paul, you scared me, cat, with your singing. I thought it was canny. Hey, you know, I do have a Facebook singing channel, guys. If you want to go and check it out, Paul Ditchburn Music on Facebook. I set it up during the first lockdown just to give people some enjoyment.
Yeah.
Well, I think it was enjoyment anyway. As Benno said, this is quite an opinionated view, but for me, at times, we've been better with Joe Linton in the side, not for his quality, but feel he has a bit of presence about him, and he retains the ball quite well. Does he have... John, does he have any presence about him? I mean, you know all about it.
Well, I'll look at that message again. We retain the ball well. Let's be real about it. I said it before, I'm going to say it again. He's got a touch of an elephant, right?
Yeah. I bet he has, mate.
Right?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, dear.
Oh, man.
I just think, no, seriously, this is real talk. I mean, this guy, I said to you before, I don't want him playing for us again. Not in a relegation dogfight, because the guy's got no heart, no passion. Absolutely no. If I was his agent, the Premier League's not for him.
What do you mean, if you were his agent?
Yeah, good point. If I was his agent. Hey, I wait, John. Jake says Joe Linton going off before worst second half is coincidence. Manu improved and Bruce had no clue how to cope. Once again, his subs actually make the team worse. Yeah, pretty bang on there. John Linton, Joe Linton says, John, Ion, do you want to go fishing for more blobfish? His English isn't too bad there, John. It's not too bad. Geordie says we simply can't play effective football under Bruce. Peter, we can't. We can't play any football under Bruce, can we?
No, we can't. I mean, it's just sideways, backwards, pass back the goalkeeper all the time, or play well for half of the game, and then second half would just absolutely go to rat shit.
Yeah. I mean, the capitulation yesterday was a joke, if you ask me anything. It was just an absolute joke. How we let Man United just control so much of the game in that second half, it was pathetic. Chippers has come out with another one. I worry, John, that the hoodie he is on going to start stripping early. No, he's not going to strip off this week. You know, the ladies had their share last week. Let's just get that straight. Chill says, what's the difference between John and Bruce? Bruce puts him in, John takes him out. Oh, God almighty. Sharky says, without Callum Wilson's goals, we are down with West Brom and Sheffield United. The bottom three relegation spots would have been confirmed weeks ago. Yeah, I mean, we knew when Callum Wilson got injured that the time was running out for Newcastle. We just don't have a replacement. And I think that's why we let ourselves badly down, or Steve Bruce did in the transfer window, because he didn't sign players, Peter, that could cover positions like a striker, right back, left back.
Exactly, and look how massively we're paying for it now. Massively. Manquillo out, Callum Wilson out, Fabian Schär as well, who's been very solid. Oh,
we just haven't covered
our asses.
We
can't really blame
we?
Bruce for that, though, can we? It's Charney and Ashley who wouldn't sign players. Bruce doesn't have a really say on who gets signed. It's the people higher up.
Is that you sticking up for Steve Bruce, Barry?
I'm not sticking up with him. I just think that our blame should be directed somewhere else.
I think you've just stuck up for Steve Bruce, Barry.
Oh, could it be a yellow card?
Guilty as charged.
Yeah.
Ken says all this talk about Blythe Butchers. Well, what's the latest on sponsorship?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't got anywhere with it, mate. I have got a phone number to ring, but I haven't done it yet. I've been obviously half term with the kids and everything last week, so it was a bit difficult. And God knows what I'm going to be like tomorrow. Because if I'm like this now, normally the COVID stuff doesn't kick in till tomorrow. So 24 hours after having the injection. So if I'm like this now, I'll probably be a puddle on the floor by tomorrow morning. So we'll see. We'll see.
Right.
Jake says Joe Linton retaining the ball would be great if he was a midfielder. He's a striker with 1 goal this season. He has had 1 big chance. He only has 9 shots on target. Stone cold facts. He isn't a striker. He isn't a bloody footballer. He's just not. Ashar Hussein, good evening to you, mate. Hayden to start right back and Sean and Matty in the midfield. John, you did suggest that Isaac Hayden in your team lineup was starting at right back for Man United. I totally disagreed with you, but obviously, you went a different way to me. I personally would have put Jacob Murphy at right back because I think even though he's not a right back, he's better than Emil Krapp. So, I mean, you have ideas at Hayden at right back, John, but do you want to explain that a bit further?
Yeah, I mean, why not? I think he used to play right back in reserves at Arsenal, and when he joined us as a right back as well. And I think I'm sure he played right back for Newcastle as well, a couple of games. But at the end of the day, I think he'd do okay. I think he'd do okay now because he can play defence. He can also play right back. But I don't know if any of you guys ever watched him at right back.
Yeah, but has he got the pace? That's the thing, John. The teams that we're going to come up against are going to have pacey wingers, and they are going to target our fullbacks because of any decent manager will now look at the games that Newcastle have been involved in, and they will look at our fullbacks and think, do you know what it is? We can really get at these guys. So they're going to put their speedy wingers on, which is my worry about playing Hayden there anyway. Thomas says, I saw this ad on BBC. And is it about Joe Linton kicking a ball into the net, but instead he drives it into space and it comes back down and smacks an old lady in the face? Fear for the old lady. Tom says Bruce should have been sacked today. I was surprised he hasn't gone this week. Would be ideal to sack him to get someone in to turn our season around. Yeah, I mean, it looks like Nigel Pearson's off to Bristol City, so we've lost out on trying to bring him in as well. So Kevin says Blob Bruce. Oh, dear me, honestly. NUFC HD says, I will donate £5 if John changes his name to Mr. John Linton. Well, mate, he is changing his Twitter handle to John Linton tomorrow for 24 hours. So I think that's worth a super chat, to be honest. Jake says, you can thank me, Mrs. for the blobfish. I couldn't remember what it was called, and she reminded me. Well, it's definitely caught on. Brian says, I know what Ollie said to Bruce to make him laugh. He said, I reckon you will stay up, Steve. Yeah. I mean, it was obviously something very funny that was said on the sidelines. I mean, Steve Bruce's team had just been thrashed, yet he's got the time to laugh. Geordie says, Joey Barton appointed Bristol Rovers manager. Nigel Pearson looks set to become Bristol City's new manager. Yeah, so, Bristol's going to be entertaining, John, because they've got 2 very fiery managers coming in there.
Yeah, I mean, you had the lad called Andy this morning. He's only a young lad. Constantly chat. He's a Bristol City fan, so he'll be delighted. And I've also spoke to a Bristol City fan last week when Dean Horton got sacked and Cordell.
Yeah, I watched that. Actually, it was a good one.
Absolutely, the guy who switched on is absolutely magnificent. He's chuffed. They got him as well. They need someone there, so it's going to kick their asses up as well. I think Bristol City now will have to start winning games because they haven't won for the last 6-7 games. They started well, by the way. They won the first.
Yeah, they did. Yeah,
and
don't they do that every year?
Again,
I know. Yeah, I've noticed that about Bristol City. They start really well every single season, and they look like they're going to be really challenging for promotion. I mean, for me, Bristol City are a decently sized club. I think that Premier League football wouldn't faze them. You know what I mean? They've got a good stadium now, and a good fan base, and I think they do well. I also watched your live stream with a guy from Egypt, John. That was quite a good one as well. The Man United fan in Egypt. But how the hell did he understand what you were saying?
No, I just I mean, he had good English, by the way. I'll give him that. But
yeah, he did. He was a good bloke. He was a good lad, actually. It was a good interview. It just gives you a bit of insight to what's going on. Richard said Steve Bruce seen in boots buying KY jelly, ready to shaft the fans even further. Yeah. NUFCHA, would you like me to make you a backdrop for your future vids? I will do it for free, and I will do one for every video you make. Mate, if you can do that, that would be absolutely fantastic. Just contact me on Twitter at the Toon Review. That would be brilliant if you could do that. Guys, once again, if you're enjoying the show, please hit the like button and do subscribe to the channel. And the links to all the guys' channels are in the description below. Go and subscribe to them. Peter's hit 1,000. He's looking to really grow now. Barry is still doing his match reports, but he's doing a brilliant show now, which is interviewing Newcastle fans from all over the world. He did his pilot episode last week. I was actually sat in the bath and watched that, Barry. It was excellent. It was great just hearing about the travels to the game and all that kind of stuff and first game. So do tune into Barry's channel for that. And John does loads of live streams, sometime lasting 3 and 4 hours. And I believe he's got his ASMR channel coming out shortly. So do check out John's Twitter for that one. Tom says John and Joe Linton on a spa day, giving Ward Joe Linton a nice massage before a nice makeover. Chipper says John has pimped out Joe Linton. As Benno says, John, just tried links in your channel description for the other lads, and it just paused the stream for me. Might just be down my end, but just thought I'd let you know. It does work. I think when the stream's going on, it'll pause this, so maybe check it out after the show. And you have CHD saying Joe Linton couldn't score a girl. That's a terrible joke. Jody says Mo Salah needs to stop impersonating Tom Daly, and he would be even better. Yeah, it does frustrate me when you see these big name players and you know they've got the talent and they're diving all over the shop, Barry.
Yeah, without a doubt. I mean, every time my little boy goes down when he kicks the ball, I say he's done a Grealish. So.
Yeah, I mean, the ones against Everton were pathetic.
Oh yeah, I mean, I didn't get to see much of the game, but I've seen the replays. I got a few Liverpool fans at work, so
yeah,
he literally got touched on the shoulder, didn't he? Looked like he got shot, as Peter would say, by the secret sniper somewhere on the ground.
Yeah, there's always a secret sniper at Anfield, undoubtedly.
There is, isn't there?
Chipper says, "Tell you what, mind if Bruce wants to watch how to play 5 at the back, watch Everton set up in the Merseyside derby." Yeah, but the difference is, Chippers, they have decent players. They have a good manager who gets the best out of the players. We have Steve Bruce, and I think that, as long as we have Steve Bruce, we are not going to be able to compete like that. Zach says, "So lads, are we going down?" Peter,
I think we might just have enough to stay up, but it also wouldn't surprise me if we were to go down.
Yeah. John, are we going down?
I'm going to be brutally honest with you guys. I think we will. If Steve Bruce is there, we're definitely going to go in. But if we get a new manager in fairly good time, we might just have enough. But as things stand, I think you're going to get relegated, mate.
Barry?
Oh, it's squeaky bum time, isn't it? So depends on these winnable games. If we can somehow manage to get 9-10 points to stay up, if we only draw them or get beaten a few of them, we're going down.
What worries me is it goes down to the last game of the season. I mean, I just couldn't hack that. Like going down to Craven Cottage, needing to get something. I mean, if you look at it that way, if it came down to the last game of the season, I genuinely don't think we've got the players for the fight for that last game of the season. I believe Fulham, if they went against us for the, and it was winner takes all, Peter Ack would only see Fulham winning that game. I genuinely don't think that our players would be up for the fight.
Exactly. I mean, it's just... hey, I mean, look at the game at St James's Park.
Exactly.
What did that say as well? We were lucky to come away with a point. It was never a penalty. Fulham were well up for the game.
Yeah, definitely.
They really were, even with 10 men as well.
Yeah, because they've got a manager who they believe in and a manager who they want to fight for.
Yeah, exactly.
Barry, what were you raising your hands for?
Just a tweet off Shearer.
Sorry?
I've just got a tweet from Shearer.
You have?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Is it the real one, Barry?
It is. The thing that he's doing to sell his 250th goal shirt and boot. I put £10 in and said done, and he's messaging me back saying, "Cheers, Barry."
Oh, look how sad you've made John Sinclair now. He thinks he was the popular man with Joe Linton, and you've just bust his ass with Shearer. Honestly,
that's the second time I've had one from Shearer. I like when I posted the picture of my new boy.
All right. Don't get carried away.
Well, he came out. He literally came out with his arm up. You see, like Shearer.
Yeah. Class. Matthew says Joe Linton has been spotted down Blythe Beach with a massive brown stain on the back of his pants. It looked like he had liquid shite coming out his ass. Seriously, where do you guys get all this crap from, man? Honestly, unbelievable. Oh, Chippers is next, guys. Honestly, slowly, John as Joe Linton massages John's meat. And then Archer follows in. God, it couldn't get bloody worse. Oh. I believe Joe Linton is in church having a piss in holy water. That's Joe Linton's Sunday service. Oh, God. Honestly. Oh, God. Lee says the only words Joe Linton knows are in English are Papa John Linton, harder and slowly. Hey! Oh, God. Honestly, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Matthew says we need fresh ideas into the club, rehire Alan Pardew until the end of the season and see how well he does.
No chance.
John, would you have Pardew back till the end of the season?
Definitely not. No. He's been out of the game for a long time now. And his last job was in Den Haag. And he had a nightmare there, man. A nightmare. He's at CSK Sofia now as the director of football, I think.
Is he? I've never kept up with it. I thought he was still at Den Haag, to be honest. I didn't even know he'd gone anywhere else.
He's on a boot, but taking there. I mean, no, a lot of people don't know he's been. He's definitely in Bulgaria with CSKA Sofia, but would I take him back? Definitely not. Nah, we've gone past him.
Fair enough.
Gone past him.
Chippers, as I've said today, when Ashley stands by a manager who laughs after defeats, deluded media, and talks shit in general, he doesn't deserve a takeover. Yeah, perfectly agree. James Bond, Daniel Craig has joined us. Thank you very much. Hope you well, Daniel. I think Kraft rivals Joe Linton for the worst signing of the season. Yeah, I mean, he's dreadful, isn't he? He's absolutely dreadful. There is no doubt about that. Who realistically do you think would replace Bruce? Someone like Carl Robinson? Well, there's a shout, Barry.
What, the goalkeeper?
No, the manager.
He's the manager.
No, Carl, I don't know who Robinson is. Sorry,
he's still at Oxford, isn't he, John?
Yeah, he's still at Oxford.
That's too low for me to know. Is he any good?
Well, he's doing. I think he was at Milton Keynes, wasn't he, John? Before he went to Oxford. Yeah, he went to Milton Keynes, then he went to Charlton, and then from Charlton to Oxford. And yeah, he managed. He's still at Oxford when we played Oxford in the cup. He managed them, and he's still there at this moment in time. And he nearly pulled off a shock as well, mind. When Oxford should have beat us in the cup last season. Now he's still at Oxford. Yeah. So
it's Thomas Frank for me all the way. If we're going to get a replacement, that's who I want.
Who? Sorry.
Thomas Frank at Brentford.
Thomas Frank, yeah. I mean, Brentford have gone off the boil lately. I don't know whether you've noticed. They've lost the last 3 games. They've gone a bit. They've gone a bit shaky. Ethan says, "For everyone, who is your favourite player at the club?" Peter, we'll start with you. At the club at present,
I think you've got to go. So far, Callum Wilson for his goals. I mean, where would we be without him?
Yeah, John.
I'll go with Pete. I've got to say Callum. At this moment in time, without the scores, then would be in absolutely huge trouble. I mean, Sharky said earlier on, without his score to be bottom 3. So for me, player of the season.
Yep. Barry, who's your favourite at the moment?
I love Midgie. He's my favourite player. I love watching him. He's always full of enthusiasm and looks like he wants to create things, get him in his right position, and we'll start reaping the benefits when Wilson's back.
Yeah.
I heard he's back
for me,
is that right?
Yes. For me, it's Isaac Hayden. I know he's been a bit poor the last couple of games, but you know he's having to do Shelby's work as well. And I just think that he's, if he's got good, hard-working midfielders around him, he'll excel. I just don't think Shelby works hard enough to make Hayden stand out. And for me, you know, Isaac Hayden should be captain, but Steve Bruce doesn't. Carl, good evening, matey. Hope you're well. Evening, lads. My pal Ken is quiet tonight. I know he went to Blythe Butchers today, and they're now selling Brucey's beefy bakes. Tasteless, hard to swallow, and no filling, and tasting the fish. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Cal, you come out with some classics, I must admit, my man. That's good stuff. That is good stuff. Yeah. Chipper says, well, you know. Archer's back again. Since Joe Linton is out of action with a back problem, Joe Linton has got honey in his pants. He has sticky pubes.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Do you know, I think Chippers and Archer should get married. They've got the same sense of humour. They're just really the lowest of the low with the comments. And I could just see them sleeping in a nice double sleeping bag outside of Ann Summers on a Saturday night. It's just perfect with a nice big McDonald's, keeping them warm, a couple of coffees, and a little basket saying, please donate, please help us. We need money for, we need to rise again like a phoenix from the flames. We need to go into rehab because there's something wrong with our minds. There's just something not right in there. So, yeah. Papa John will do the ceremony to marry you two. You know, I'm sure we can get John a marriage license on, on the internet somewhere. There's got to be somewhere like that. So John can marry Archer and Chippers, and we'll do it live on the Four Horsemen show. That would be tremendous. Guys,
John
if you're enjoying the show,
Joe Linton shirt.
Yeah, exactly. If you're enjoying the show, do hit the like button. Please do subscribe to the channel and subscribe to the other guys on the bottom. And super chats are now available on the channel. If you'd like to hit me up with a super chat, I'd be absolutely ecstatic. 80% to Parkinson's UK and 20% to the channel. Thanks very much. As Benno, love John May, had to drop a sub. Good on you, mate.
Thanks very much.
The only time Joe has presents is on his birthday. Oh, superb. John and Joe Linton seen on the pitch playing with balls. Papa John Linton has released his £40 million meat feast, the Brazilian spicy sausage.
It's a sausage.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
John, do you remember? Actually, South Park brought us 2-1. Thanks, Barry.
Palace.
2 to
Palace.
Palace. All right. Yeah. So Brighton are in the trouble. I'm just thinking of that song that South Park did not long ago, guys, and I think Joe Linton and John could re-release it, and it would be a number 1 classic single.
Chocolate salty balls.
Well, that was a long time ago. That.
Save the Shark says fishing for more blobfish. Oh, you must mean our transfer market. Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Joe from Linton is selling a pair of hair clippers on Facebook Marketplace. Dear me. Zach said, should we bring in youth Mike Oxmals for Saturday's game? Peter?
Why not? Why not?
Is
Give
he
him
decent?
a chance.
I haven't seen him much.
I've never seen him play, mate. I've never seen him.
I've never heard of him.
But yet again, you want to give some of these youngsters an opportunity.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
So why not?
Yep. Truls says, you're great, John. Stay the same. So never change, John.
Thank you.
He'll never change. He'll never change. We won't let that happen.
Never.
Andrew says, Scott Parker is 2021. Steve Bruce is 1981 in manager styles. Yeah, that's pretty much sums it up. So Joe Linton wants to know if he's still worth 15 million, John.
Probably not. Nah.
Probably not. Probably not, he says. Okay, right. Brilliant. Richard says, Joe Linton seen in Poundland on the shelf. A contract he is actually worth 99 pence. Paul Walton says, lads, who do you think will want away even if we didn't gan Toon? So if we don't go down, who do you think would stay? But if we did go down, who would stay as well? It's a very hard question, that, because we know that a lot of players are out of contract, Barry, and who would want to stay, who would want to go, and it would be. I think we're in bigger trouble if we go down, because we're going to have to get an awful lot of new players in.
Yeah, if we go down, I mean, the likes of Murphy's out of contract, Gale's out of contract, Shaw's out of contract. These are players that we really need to hold on to if we go down. Shaw, we really need to hold on if we stay up. I can't see Shaw staying. I think he's fallen out with Bruce, and I think he's gone. I
Right.
think ASM will want to move because he's not getting the ambition from the club that he wants himself. I think Midgie will probably want to move as well because he's too good for her. If Bruce is still in charge, of course. Hayden might want to move down south for his family. He stayed for the club, he stayed for the fans, but we're not rewarding him, are we? With players around him to challenge and to move up the table. De Brackver will want to leave because he's not getting the game and he deserves to be in goal. Who else is close to running out of contract? That's about 5 or 6 I've reeled off there, isn't it? We're screwed, aren't we, really, when you look at it?
Yeah. As Benno says, who's you lads play at left back on Saturday? Richie would be the pick for me. Plenty of passion and works hard. Offers more going forward than Dummett and Lewis is out of the question with his form. To be honest, we spoke about this before. I think we're going to have to play Lewis simply because of his pace, because he's going to come up against Traore, and we're in deep shit if we haven't got a pacey left back. So, NUFC, would you like me to make you a green screen background? I'll make a background for every video you do, and I'll make your thumbnails. I'll do it for free because I love your channel. Wow, thank you very much. Yeah, that would be awesome, mate. Like I said, do hit me up on Twitter. Send us a private message on Twitter, and we'll sort it out. That would be absolutely fantastic, mate. If you can do them, then that would certainly be good stuff. Sharky says, my fear if we go down the board, we'll stick with Steve Bruce in the championship. John, I said this before. This before. If we go down, they may look at it as say, well, Steve Bruce has managed in the championship. He's done a half decent job with some of the teams in the championship, so we may as well just keep him.
Pretty horrible, isn't it?
Well, I'll tell you what, though. I mean, if we do get relegated and he gets a chance to carry on, well, season tickets is just going to fall like that. And I'll be absolutely devastated if he stays next season. I really would do, because he not got off to a good start, Bruce. And if you don't get off to a good start, then the pressure is going to be unbelievable. Because I'll tell you something now, right? You said about players out of contract at the end of the season, about 12, 13 is going to be out of contract. Plus, the players don't want to stay in the championship. We ain't going to have a team.
Yeah.
Not going to have a team at all whatsoever, because we're going to have like a skeleton team. We've got to end up playing the reserves as well, under 23s and that. By the looks of it, you know what I mean? But
yeah. John, Tom wants to know if you've ever done the full Monty with Joe Linton.
But I'd like to turn it on, Paul, I want to turn it on you as well, man, if you don't mind. I'll turn it on you, yeah? If Steve Bruce does steer in the championship, and I hope he doesn't, I pray he doesn't.
Yeah.
How many games would you give him? And also, will he have to start well?
I think if we kept Steve Bruce in the championship, I'd give him 10 games. I'd say 10 games. And if we're if we're not anywhere near the top of the league, you're gone. I'd give him 10 games. But to be honest, I mean, if Steve Bruce stayed next season in the championship, I'd cry. Because it looks like we're going to be able to go back to the ground next season. That was some good news. You know, hopefully the full lockdown will be lifted in June, and that'll just be fantastic. You know, we can all meet up and do loads of stuff together, you know. John, I'm just worried he'll start pimping us out. But, you know, we can all still have a good time. So hopefully that is still to come. Chipper says, John and Joe Linton going to start their own Right Said Fred pub group. Well, that would mean shaving Joe Linton's hair. Hit like and subscribe if you're new. Cheers, Geordie. Thank you, mate. What's Barry's channel called?
I forgot what my channel's called.
Well, that's a good start, isn't it?
It's not me and my name. Where's my name gone?
I've took them off because if you notice, I've done a nice little thing for us at the bottom there, the four horsemen, and there's 2 horses' heads in front of the Newcastle United badge. You know, just something I designed the other day.
It's quite cool.
So I've took the names off.
UFC match, so if you want it.
Yeah, it's in the description anyway, Andrew. So go and check that out. Hang on, I've just bounced
we forgot to mention that tonight, didn't we?
Yeah. Hang on. I hate it when the comments do that. They suddenly just disappear. well, they haven't disappeared. They've gone right up the screen. Like there's loads of comments come in. It's absolutely fantastic, to be honest. Getting so many comments. Jody says, "What's Barry's channel called?" Only channel that I'm not subscribed to, which is hard to believe. Well, you will be after tonight. There you go. Taylor says, "John, when will Joe Linton come bursting through that door fully naked with a cape saying, 'I'm ready to lose my virginity'?" Oh, that's a brilliant one. That is absolute quality.
Class.
Taylor, you must be just sitting there thinking of all this. My God. Honestly, that is something that'll give me nightmares, man. Like, you can just see that door of John's opening and then Joe Linton standing in a Batman cape. Oh, dear me. Oh, my God.
Wow.
Taylor said, "Did he hear that there are 10,000 fans allowed in stadiums on the last game week?" Yes, I did, but unfortunately we're away. So it'll be Fulham fans, and that'll make the situation even worse if it goes down to the last game of the season. 10,000 Fulham fans cheering them on as well. That'll just make our day. Save the Sharks saying Barry's done it. What's Barry done? What have you done, Barry?
I don't know.
Unless it's going to be your tweet.
Unless it's about your tweet. Yeah. Chipper says, "I got a tweet off Big Al this morning." Yeah, it's not the Big Al we're talking about. It's Big Al that works in Al Summers.
Yeah.
Or he works down some back alley in Northumberland Street. Tom says, "John and Joe Linton spotted in flares in Newcastle on the dance floor, playing with their plastic guitars. I thought they were in a pop group." Hey, I tell you, you get about with them, John, don't you?
Oh, yes.
James says, "Who do you realistically see replacing Bruce?" I think if a takeover goes through, it could be anybody, James. I mean, you know, the sky's the limit when it comes to managers if we get a takeover. However, if we don't, and now that Pearson's off the list, I can only see Eddie Howe. Peter?
Yeah, as I mentioned, takeover could be any decent manager, but yes, Eddie Howe possibly, but it all depends if he wants to come back into management already. If he did mentioned he wanted to take a full season because of his last season with Bournemouth.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they did go down, and you could tell that job he's done has probably tired him out completely.
Yeah, without a doubt. Sharky says, "Carl Robinson is a good manager, very passionate." I've noticed that about Carl Robinson. He is a passionate guy. So, you know, that's what we need. And here says, "Nigel Pearson has officially been appointed Bristol City manager." So there you go. Steve says, "What's Lee Clark doing now?" He's doing something in Newcastle Blue Star, I believe, at the minute. But I don't think he could. You know, Lee Clark's been mentioned as a number one. I don't think he should come in as a number one in this situation. I'd love to see him in as a number two. Don't get me wrong. I think somebody, you know, Clarky to come in alongside somebody would be fine. Charles says, "Good show, guys. Always fun and depressing." Oh, thanks, Charles. You know, nice to know we depress you as well. You know, our Monday nights are all about trying to cheer people up. Lee says, "I would like to see Eddie Howe." Yeah, definitely. I think he's the only one. Joe Linton says, "Mr. Blobfish has told us today fans are allowed back in the stadium for the something." Daniel says 2-1 Palace. Thanks, mate. Back again for the relegation master. I think that's a song from the 90s, isn't it? Back once again for the renegade master. You know, that was an old... I'm going to have to stop singing on this channel. I'm getting carried away here.
Throw a quick name in for a new manager. Now,
yeah?
I don't know if you know, but the Northern League has been cancelled because of COVID.
It has,
and
yeah.
I would take Steve Watson.
There's a shout. But again, is he not the same as Lee Clark?
Again, is he ready?
Number two.
Well,
Steve Watson and Clark.
Watson there.
Are they both ready for the big step?
Huge jump, baby. Huge jump from the Northern League to the number one in Newcastle. I just thought number two, maybe.
Might have the passion just until the end of the season. They might have the passion to get the players.
Yeah, I can see where you're coming from, Barry. I think you know, just for the passion till the end of the season to see if they can install a bit of belief in the players, maybe. Yeah. But you know, let's face it, nothing's going to change, guys. I mean, we're talking about, you know, Steve Bruce being replaced. Yeah, it's not going to happen. We need to. It's going to be. It'll amaze me if they sack Steve Bruce. It really will, because I just can't see that happening at the minute. Jack Linton's back now as well. So good evening to you. Who are these people? John, how's Ward Joe's back injury? Any update?
Well,
checking his phone there, isn't he?
Yeah.
But I think he'll probably be out for a couple of weeks if he's got a back injury. So
Yeah.
doesn't look good on him. So listen, his best in disguise, and I just hope that his back gets better. But I still don't want him in my team.
Yeah. NUFC HD, mate, can you put your name on? Because I'm not sure. I'm calling you NUFC HD, and I know you've got a name. 499 super chat. Thank you very much. I love this channel. There's your donation. Thank you very, very much. It's actually nice to finally have super chats on the channel, given that I've fought for a week with YouTube and Google to try and get everything set up, and I'm going on seeing people set up in 24 hours and all of this, and here's me plodding along thinking, is it ever going to happen? So thank you very much. And like I say, 80% is going to Parkinson's UK, 20% to the channel. So do keep them coming if you're kind enough to. Thank you very much. Tom says, John, what's your favourite sausage from Blythe Butchers? Because I heard you like a bit of sausage. Dear me. Dear me.
God.
Oh, it's terrible. It's terrible. As Benno, Mike Oxsmall was a pun off whoever put that, lads. Mike Ox. Oh, Mike. Yeah.
Oh.
He did that to me last night. He kept putting names on the screen, and I was saying, you know what? I'm not interested in any signings at the minute. And then I realised they were all bloody puns. You're a funny man, as Benno. I'll give you that. Mr. Blobfish has told us today that fans are allowed. Yes, we've. Why is that coming up again? Seriously, guys, Mike Oxsmalls, read it again. Guys, none of us are clicking onto this yet.
No, I'm not.
Dear me. Andrew says NUFC HD, another top fella. He is. I'd love to know what his name is. Steve says was thinking more Mike Oxlong. Okay. Right. Yeah, okay, we get it. We get it. NUFC HD, another super chat. Thank you very much. If you ever want me to make your thumbnails or green screen backgrounds, I can do that for you, no charge. You are a legend. Legend status on the Toon Review channel. John Joe Linton is right behind you. Don't scare him. Jesus.
He's in the cupboard.
Yeah, exactly. Ian Brown says John is bloody hilarious.
Even looked.
Does he do 70th birthday parties?
I'll tell you what, guys, I'll be 70 in 18 years' time. So
wow.
18 years' time.
Yeah, but John, he's wanting you to turn up at his 70th birthday party to
you know, the stripper, mate.
Get on stage. Not the stripper. Bloody hell, Barry.
I wanted to be the stripper, I'm telling you.
No. I think he's just wanting to be a comedian. Where is your mind going, Barry? Get in the gutter with Archer and Chippers, will you? Jesus Christ. Go and jump in their double sleeping bag with them. Oh, my God. Maybe try Mike Oxwart. Okay. What's your name on Twitter when we can sort something out? I'm just Paul at, my Twitter handle is at the Toon Review. Pretty easy to find. It's at the Toon Review. Sharky says, by the way, I don't want Steve Bruce if we go down. Mike Ashley will say there's a cheap option and he has a good record in the championship. I generally think we could be down for 2-3 seasons. Yeah, I mean, I genuinely believe if we go down, we ain't coming straight back. That's one thing. Noah Wilson won't stay if we go down, will he? There's no chance of him staying.
No.
If he wants international football, there's no way he's going to be staying. Guarantee it. Undershunned Thoughts. That's an interesting name. What do you think of the rumours of Benitez being approached by Team Ashley? Peter?
Not true at all. Unfortunately, the Chronicle have dismissed it, so
yeah,
it's not true at all. And would Rafa come back under this current ownership? Very unlikely.
No way in hell would he come back. No way. Richard says John and Joe Linton in the sequel to Magic Mike. Oh, dear God. I mean, I've never seen Magic Mike personally. I know about the film, but I haven't watched it. I mean, that could be something that you and Joe Linton can do on a Saturday night, John. Nice, snuggled up on the couch, bit of baby oil, bit of a blanket there, and Magic Mike on the TV in front of a roaring fire.
You know what? I wouldn't mind his wife.
He's setting the scene.
His wife is son-in-law. I wouldn't mind his wife.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What do you think to say? Jody says if we get relegated, I can see us doing a Sunderland, to be honest, because no decent player will want to come here and we will end up with mediocre championship players. Yeah. Toon fan 175, Blobfish out. Ken says, doesn't matter if we like the players or not, but what would be interesting is if all the players who are out of contract in the summer were to be offered new contracts, how many would sign a new contract if it was under Bruce, and how many would refuse? I have a feeling there's quite a few would refuse if it's still under Bruce. I think he's actually. I get the feeling he's fallen out with a lot of players, guys.
It's possible.
Should be sacked.
Should be gone.
Very true. Thomas says, I just saw a proboscis monkey with Steve Bruce. It had a rose in its mouth. It's on its way to John's front door. There's a proboscis monkey delivering a red rose to John's door from Joe Linton. God. Joey Barton, Bristol City manager. What do you think I'm taking the Newcastle job? He's actually Bristol Rovers manager. Nigel Pearson is the one that's gone to Bristol City. I would love somebody like Joey Barton. I know he's probably never going to be manager, but I would love someone like Joey Barton at Newcastle.
Oh, same, yeah.
Just for the entertainment wise. I mean, he'd be so passionate. Jason John will be singing Hit Me Baby One More Time when Joe Linton delivers himself naked via Just Eat. Oh my God! Oh dear Christ!
I think be proud of that.
Yeah, Jason, I think you should join that sleeping bag with Chippers and Archie, mate. I'm starting to think that now. ASM continued to Newcastle until 2026. Yeah, but if we go down, there will be something in his contract. I guarantee that he will not be in the Championship. Absolutely not. Thomas says, lads, I have a fact for you. Joe Linton nearly died when he was a kid. I didn't know that, but thank you for letting us know, Thomas. What do we think of Rafa being approached? We've seen that. Love from India. Love to India. Thank you very much. He fell off a truck. Wow. I mean, I've never heard that, Thomas. If that's true, then fair enough. But that would explain why he's so slow. Andrew says, have subscribed to your channel, Barry. There you go. There's another subscriber for you. Jody said Keegan had no managerial experience prior to becoming Newcastle manager, so Steve Watson could do it. That's a good point. You know, we go on about managers having no experience, but Keegan came in with none. I mean, literally none. He hadn't managed before, and he turned us around.
It was the aura of the man, wasn't it? That was what was infectious for the players. And again, with Steve Watson being a local lad, I just think you get some passion out of it. You do, and you'll also give maybe the younger guys a chance. And
it's a good show. It's a good. I mean, you know, like we say, they've got passion for the club. They love Newcastle United, so they would have that passion and drive in the dressing room, definitely to try and inspire the players. There's no doubt about that. Apparently, he was driving on the motorway. Yes. Joe Linton fell off a truck on the motorway. John, has he ever explained, you know, when you've woke up on a Sunday morning together in bed and you're going through the papers, has he ever brought up anything like that?
Definitely not. Not for me. No.
Okay. That's fair enough. That's fair enough. Steve says, John, did Joe do his back in falling off the wardrobe?
Don't know. I wasn't there.
Oh, man.
Will. His name's Will at NUFCHD. Thanks, Will.
Will.
Mike Hunt. Just thought I'd read that slowly. I don't know who that is either. Joe Linton's back went while he was trying to carry the rest of the team. Oh, dear me. No, I'm not having that. Zach says, what do you think of... No, I'm not reading that out. I'm too quick for that one tonight. Yeah, nice try. As Benno said, that'd be a good thumbnail. John on a stripper pole with Joe Linton chucking money at him.
Get it made.
Oh, my God. Charles, love this show. Keep it up. Thanks, mate. Appreciate that. Tom said, just spotted John and Joe Linton going around Newcastle in a mobility scooter. I thought it was Mark and Johnny Vegas.
I'll tell you, this is entertaining, though.
That's very true. That's very true. If Rafa was mad enough to come back under Ashley, would you trust his state of mind? No. He wouldn't come back anyway, let's face it. I had a season ticket with my Dons when Carl Robinson was in charge. Yeah, I mean, you know, I've seen him interviewed a few times, and he does seem to have that kind of... He's kind of aggressive as well, aggressive passion. So I don't think anybody would mess around with him. That's a certainty. Chipper says, remember, guys, 10:30 p.m., Channel 900 ASMR with Joe Linton and John. Chippers, you have a sick mind. A sick mind. Geordie says, I read yesterday that Bruce blamed Sean Longstaff for the Sheffield United loss and has since fallen out with the Longstaff brothers. I mean, I've had this feeling for a while that something's gone on with the Longstaffs, and you know, I'm now like 100% convinced that something has gone on behind the scenes, Peter.
Well, yeah, if they're not getting selected, either of them. I mean, I was very surprised to not see Matty even make the bench.
I know.
Particularly the last 2 times he scored against Man United.
Yeah, exactly. How stupid is that, though, Peter? You know, he scored in his last 2 appearances against Man United, and he's not even making the bench this time. It's just a farce.
Yeah, exactly. Who did he recall to the bench after his suspension? But
that would be Jesus Christ,
bloody Hendrick,
Andrew Archer lookalike. Honestly,
I'm surprised you didn't start him.
Yeah, Chip says John has a Joe Linton as a gimp in his cupboard. As Benno says, Joe Linton falling off a truck. No wonder he's got a bad back. Ania says, all legends, subscribe to all of them. Thanks, mate. Appreciate that. Thank you. Toon fan says, Paul, please do the Steve Bruce pout. You crack me up when you do it. I love your channel. Keep up the good work. There. I seem to do it better when I'm actually angry because I don't even know I'm doing it. But never mind. John, have you ever tasted Brazilian sausage? My God, honestly. John says the thing is Keegan had the backing of John Hall. This owner will not back anyone. Exactly. I mean, Keegan did have John Hall. He just said, I want this player, and John Hall went and got him. You know, I mean, it was a match made in heaven, those two, really, because John Hall had visions for the team and wanted to have ambition, wanted success, and he damn well went and got it, to be fair. Seriously, Paul, is Joe Linton a footballer? Seriously, Jake? No, he's not, but you can have him at Leeds if you want. I mean, we'll gladly drive him down there. I'm sure John will. You know, he'll. I mean, they'll have a beautiful time together on the train or something. You know, one last candlelit meal before he goes to Leeds. Yeah. Andrew says, "I'm subscribed to the 4 of you now. Thank you very much, mate." John said to Joe Linton, "Suck me, beautiful."
My God!
Tonight, you really.
I don't know I really don't know what the matter is with this kid, Chippers. I mean, you are undoubtedly, you've got something wrong with you, Chippers. And I could only suggest seeing a man in a white coat. I mean, you know, it worries me how you can come out with all this stuff. I mean,
it's funny.
I mean, guys, please do, if you're in Newcastle, you know, on a weekend for whatever reason it may be, please do donate some money to Chippers. Be in the doorway outside Ann Summers, wrapped up with what's it? Oh God, I've lost my train of thought again.
Foil.
What?
Foil.
No, he's in bed with who did I say I was marrying before?
Archer.
Gordon Bennett. He'd be snuggled up with Archer in a nice little double sleeping bag, and they'll have a little basket there. So go and donate to them, will you? And try and get them some help.
Change your super chat to 70% to Parkinson's, 10% to Chippers, and 20% to yourself.
That's not going to happen. Chippers, I love you though. Jason says midnight on Babe Station. John and Joe Linton share the king size. Thomas says, lads, I can see it now. John and Joe Linton going on a world tour with Dua Lipa. Hey, there you go, mate. You're getting there. Trolls is sub to all of you guys as well.
Thank you very much.
Jason says, John went out to buy some Brazil nuts and came back with Joe Linton. Oh, brilliant. Honestly, absolutely superb. Jake says Joe Linton can come to Leeds. All the fans slagging off Bamford can see what they're missing. I don't understand that. I mean, we'll have, but if you want to do a swap with Joe Linford and Bamford, I know Bamford has his, you know, his poor moments, but the guy scored plenty of goals this season, hasn't he? I mean, he scored some good goals as well. You know, that's what, honestly. John, I can give you some Brazilian sausage if you want. Chipper says, seen a man in a white coat. He's called Steve Bruce. John, what would you do if Joe Linton moved next door to you, giving him massages every single night? You wouldn't leave his house.
I'll tell you, I lock up all the doors, pal. That's what I do.
Jake is subbed to you all as well. Hey, look at this.
Cheers, Jake.
Bouncing off my channel to get subscribers. You filthy pigs, the lot of yous.
You wouldn't
That's what it's all
survive
about. That's what it's all about. Jason says John is 100% a legend, and we love John. Not as much as Joe Linton loves him, but we all love John.
Bless you.
What
He's getting some kind of star status. You what, Barry?
What are we going to do? Joe Linton gets sold.
We'll find somebody
We're
else
in
for him. I'm
trouble,
sure. I'm sure we can pimp him out to somebody else, can't we? Richard said John and Joe Linton headlining Brokeback Mountain explains Liverpool's back issues of late. Steve Bruce says hit like and subscribe, everyone. Yeah, thank you very much. We've got about 10 minutes of the show left, guys. So if you've enjoyed what you've watched tonight, do hit the like button. And if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe to the Toon Review channel. And also the other guys' links to their channels are in the description. Go and subscribe to them after the show. And also Super Chat is available if you want to donate. I'd be very, very appreciative of that. 80% to Parkinson's, 20% to the show. So thanks very much. As Benno says, John and Joe Linton have started an OnlyFans. You can find them as Johnny Joe Linton.
It's just
That's an excellent one. That's brilliant.
Hey, honestly, I mean, John, you're getting some suggestions to make some serious money here. Like,
It is, yeah.
wow, give me subs, boost up me subs, so that's not very canny, you know.
exactly. John Bruce says Bamford can play football. Joe Linton can't. Exactly. I've had Bamford every day of the week, every single day of the week.
Same here.
Joe Linton cross John around literally. There's always Kraft, says Truls.
God. Yeah, that's fair enough.
Kraft's still at the club. We can do something with him. Joe Linton will win the Ballon d'Or in about 5 years' time, says Steve Bruce. Tom says, John, do you like black pudding? I heard Joe Linton loves it on a morning before his football match. Honestly. Thomas says, I saw John and Joe Linton having coconuts in bed. Ania said, if Joe Linton goes, John would find someone else. He's a very attractive man.
Oh, there you go.
There you go, John. I wouldn't worry about anything. Will says if we sell Joe Linton, we could buy John for 10 million and put him up front. He'll get about 100 goals a season. I'll tell you what, though. I'll tell you, John would be a hit with the ladies. You can just see him scoring in the Gallagher and then just doing what he did last week, having a bit of a stretch.
Yay!
Just showing off them budgie smugglers. Everybody would be wanting them. Jason says, seeing John and Joe Linton skipping down the road singing, we've got a lovely bunch of coconuts.
Hey.
Bend over says, good channel, lads.
Bend over, Jesus Christ.
And he says, John, just kidding, by the way. And Jake says, some Leeds fans still give Bamford a hard time. We're just saying that we should get Joe Linton in to show those fans what a non-striker looks like. Exactly. Right, guys, looking at the weekend against Wolves, obviously, you know, a lot of people have said it's a winnable game, but Wolves, they're starting to hit a bit of form just in time to play us again. So, Barry, we'll start with you and go for a score prediction.
Not Barry. Score prediction.
Yeah, score prediction for Wolves.
My heart says get a point. My head says we get beat 1-1. My head says we get beat 2-1.
Okay, John, what do you reckon?
Excuse me. Wolves are hit on fire in a minute. They won the last couple of games. My worry is who's going to get the goals.
Yeah.
The problem. I mean, I'd love to see us win the game, but if we hit the bottom three on Saturday, the pressure's going to be telling. I'm going to say 2-0 Wolves. I think Wolves will pick it up.
Yeah. Peter?
I'm going to go Newcastle to win by 1-0.
Get in. Nice one. Well, I'm going for 3-1 Newcastle.
Oh, God.
Oh, that's why not? Why not?
Yeah,
I mean,
and people dare accuse me of being negative.
I mean, and only got a goal last against Leeds because it came off the goalkeeper's back.
Exactly. So,
what do you think is going to happen between Palace and Fulham? Because that's a huge game, isn't it?
It is. I mean, Palace are at home, aren't they? So,
Yeah.
although that means nothing these days, to be honest. I mean,
have you
Might
seen
give
the
them a
stats
fair-
on tonight's game? Have you had a look yet? Have you had a chance?
no, because I've been on here, Barry.
Yeah, I know, but we've got computers. Come on.
I'm not as posh as you with bloody NASA monitors all around us, you know.
Well, I'll a great tweet from Paddy Power. They said they
Go on
would
then.
like to ring the police and report a robbery after tonight's game because Palace went away and were 2-1. And I'll tell you why. 75% Brighton, 25% Palace. 2 shots on
Jesus.
target, Palace. Brighton, 25 shots off target, 5 shots on target. They also had 2 kicks off the line as well. So
Bloody
Palace,
hell.
if they play like that, Fulham are going to win, and we are looking like we're going to be in the bottom 3.
God almighty.
Good, done it.
Yep.
Good look.
It's not looking great, is it, to be fair?
No.
Anisins says that Wolves will win 1-0. Sorry, lads, it's fine. I mean, you know, even some of us predict they're going to lose, but it's just one of them things. Crack and show, lads, they keep getting better week in, week out. Thank you very much, Chip, as you keep on getting more disgusting week in, week out. Steve Bruce says, didn't know Wolves could score goals. Yeah, they can. Anybody can score goals against us at the minute. Geordie says 2-0 Wolves. Jake says Wolves might not scare anywhere near as many without Jimenez, but they're still very hard to beat. And Neto is getting better every game. 1-0 Wolves. Sorry. He is. I mean, Neto is going to be the man to watch, and without a doubt. Newcastle to win 2-1. That's better. That's better, Tom. Wolves to win 2-0. Neto on the score sheet, says Richard. Trull says 2-0 Wolves. As much as Joe Linton went going to John's. 2-1 Newcastle, says Thomas. That's better. That's better. Thomas. Chipper says ASMR to score the winner on Saturday. Oh, my God. Starting 11 for Wolves game. Okay, Joe Linton. We'll believe that when we see it. As Benno says, more chance of John leaving Joe Linton than us picking 3 points up. Oh, John Sinclair getting the winner. Hey! Jason said, not laughed so much in a long time. I'm crying here. My prediction is win 2-1, draw 1-1, or lose 2-0. Leaning towards the loss more sadly, though. Yeah, that's fair enough. Will says, have you heard of that player coming to Newcastle? He's great. He played for this Greek team called Rhodes FC. He scored 50 goals this season. Has got 10 assists. He's called Oggy Brentford. What the hell?
Oh,
Kobe says Pedro Neto and Adama Traore will put our fullbacks into next week. Of course they will. Sharky's going 2-1 Newcastle. Keep the faith. Well done, mate. Ania says Fulham will get the result at Palace, but they have a smash and grab ability in them. That's what I mean. That's why a lot of people are tipping Fulham to survive, is because they do have this smash and grab attitude. But they've also got a lot of... They get that from the manager, Peter.
Well, yeah, absolutely. Parker believes in his players, and the players are playing for him.
Last couple of minutes, we'll rattle through the comments. Tom says, John, you wouldn't be able to sleep tonight. You'd be dreaming of Joe Linton. Joe Linton says we're going to win 4-1 on Saturday. Thomas says, great show, lads. Thank you. Bendover says 2-1 Toon. I can't take that name seriously. If we lose to Wolves and West Brom, we are doomed. Yeah, I think without a shadow of a doubt.
Yep.
Adam from Newcastle Fans TV. Good evening. Good evening to you, mates. Hope you're well. Where are we? Truls, stay safe, guys. Adam says tough game, but we have to win Saturday. Yep, they are starting to become must-win games now. There's no doubt about it. Jake says John will have the last laugh. I'm sure he will. I'm sure something will happen to one of us where John Sinclair will not let us forget it. Don't worry about that. Tom says just 2 hours to go until John makes his Twitter name John Linton. Yeah, it's happening, guys. It's happening. His Twitter handle is changing to John Linton for 24 hours from tomorrow. So do check out his at John Sinclair. You what?
You're going to have to remind us then, because I haven't changed it yet.
John, you shouldn't need reminding of that. You just look. When you wake up in the morning.
Already.
That's right. Exactly. You can change it now. Yeah. Or you can wake up in the morning, John, and just turn around, and on your bedside table you'll see that lovely photo you've got of Joe Linton. And that should really remind you, to be fair.
Brilliant.
Sharky says start Dwight Gale or Andy Carroll.
Dwight Gale.
Dwight Gale doesn't fill me with any confidence anymore. Chipper says if Joe Linton scores, John will give him a celebratory rub down. Damn right he will. Jody says, excellent show. Like and subscribe. Cheers, mate. Thank you. Kobe says, how much would you give if it meant Bruce would be sacked?
My own money. Every penny I've got.
Yeah. Although I think John can donate from his OnlyFans and his ASMR channel. I'm sure that would pay Bruce off quite nicely, to be honest. And he says, great stream from all of you. Great and keep it up. Thanks, buddy. Thomas says, lads, if any of you watch Newcastle Fans TV, but I'm sure most of you do, Carl shaved his hair yesterday on camera. Yeah, good on him for doing that. I think, I would do something like that, but unfortunately I have no hair to shave. As I keep mine relatively low. John doesn't have any hair to shave. Peter, yours looks pretty down to the bone.
Well, I got it done the day, actually, so...
Right. That leaves you, Barry, to do something like that just to help us bald guys out. You know what I mean? You could maybe then we can be called the 4 bald horsemen.
Do you know what it is? I'll tell you what. If and only if by the next 2 shows, because we've got how many till April? The opening the barbers, aren't they?
Yeah.
Is that right? April.
I think so.
So
yeah.
by the next 2 shows, right? If you've got £200 worth of donations, I will not completely shave my hair off, but I'll let my missus shave it quite short on a show for you.
Right, there you go, guys. We need £200 on the... My mic went off there. Can you hear us?
Yeah,
I can hear you.
It started flashing at me for some strange reason, but never mind. So there you go. £200 worth of super chats, guys. And Barry will do the hair. That you cannot get better viewing than that. Right, last few before we go. Great show, lads. Thank you very much. Will says Newcastle will win 1-0. John and Joe Linton will play up front. That will terrorise the team with ASMR. Paul Jackson says great stream. Thank you very much. Geordie says next 4 to 5 matches are massive. Last few. John Linton speaking to Lee Charnley to replace Steve Bruce. That's why he left the room. Admit it, John. There you go. It's all coming out in the woodwork now. Taylor says John and Joe Linton had an orgy with Blobfish and Bruce's wife Blebfish, and it got leaked out to the public via security cams at Blythe Butchers. That's brilliant. That is absolutely superb. Adam says only one lad has enough to shave. Yeah, damn right he does, Adam. Don't worry, we've got him now. Tom says, John, you should do a Joe Linton lookalike. Oh, goodness me. We all use fans to love me and support me if I paid off Steve Bruce. Jason says the 4 bald Lintons. Come on, Barry, get it off. Nope, that sounds like what John says to Joe Linton. God almighty. When's the next stream? I don't know when I'm doing a stream. I'll definitely do one Thursday night. I may be doing one tomorrow. I'm just going to start doing live streams. So keep an eye on me Twitter. And obviously I'll let you know and times and stuff like that. We may change the time of this show to 8 o'clock instead of 8:30. I don't know whether you guys would be happy with doing that, but I think 8 o'clock's a better time to start.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's good.
Right. It'll probably start from next Monday then at 8 o'clock. So there you go. And we'll finish off there. Right, that's it for tonight, lads. I really hope you've enjoyed the show. We've tried to make everybody laugh again and things like that. And, you know, I've had a great time. Peter, have you enjoyed it again?
Oh, hell yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
Absolutely, as always.
John?
Well, you know what? You cannot beat the show. I enjoy every moment of it. And, keep it going, my guy.
Brilliant. You enjoyed yourself, Barry?
Always, mate. It's one thing I look forward to every week.
Brilliant. That's what it's all about. But it's all you guys as well with your live comments and stuff like that. It's absolutely fantastic. You know, you make us laugh just like, if we make you laugh, then you guys definitely make us laugh. Absolutely hilarious comments coming in. You know, I think we spoke about the football seriously for about 10 minutes tonight, but that's what it's all about. You know, when we've played as badly as that again, we just want to have some fun and have some laugh. And John, I must admit, you take the brunt of it, but by God, you're a good sport. We haven't seen Peter spit his drink out tonight. No. It looks like he was drinking from a very large religious chalice tonight again. But is that some sort of Metallica chalice again? Or Iron Maiden tonight?
Iron Maiden this time.
Quality. Right. Well, thank you very much to everybody that's watched the show. It's been a pleasure, as usual. We're back next week again at 8 o'clock this time, a bit earlier. So don't forget to come and see us on there at 8 o'clock. But in the meantime, thank you very much for watching. Everybody stay safe out there. and good night. Good night, guys.
Good night, guys.
Good night.
Strong.